Hello YouTube, my name is Soul, and today we're gonna be talking about your boy, your ramen loving boy, Naruto. Can you hear that? Someone decided to mow their fucking lawn right at the exact moment that I started to film. Are you coming closer? I finally get the fucking energy to make this video and it's fucking ruined because someone wants a fucking clean grass. What's more important, your fucking clean grass or the like billionth video on YouTube about Naruto? But anyway, Naruto is a weird series for me because it's something I go way back on. I remember watching Naruto on Cartoon Network back in the day. I got all the way up to the fight with Gaara. It was a awesome show at the time. I played a couple of the games. Love Naruto back in the day. But it's also a show that my girlfriend and a lot of my friends have hassled me to catch up on because a lot of crazy shit has happened since the fight with Gaara, apparently. And I've tried to get back into Naruto before. I remember back in the day I started reading the manga and I got all the way up to the fight with Sasuke and then did the same thing with the anime. I rewatched it, got up to the fight with Sasuke. I tried to watch the filler beyond that, but it turns out it sucked. And for some reason, I just couldn't start Shippuden because of that. But I eventually did. Fuck the filler. I started Shippuden and I got like 100 episodes in, which was the farthest I ever got. And I stopped once again like a year and a half ago, I think, just because fucking filler, man. It's fucking the worst. But I made a goal for 2019, which is to just watch a shit ton of Naruto. And so far, I'm like 200 and some episodes deep. I am past the fight with Jiraiya and Pain. I am past the fight with Naruto and Pain. And I knew that this fight was important. I knew the fight with Pain was a big deal because every time I fucking search Naruto, one of the first things that pop up is Naruto versus Pain. And I'm sure there's a bunch of really shitty, edited, awfully sped up versions of that fight on YouTube. And everyone was hyping this fight up for me, and the way the show was making it out, I thought Pain was like the final bad guy. And I was like, okay, I'm like not nearly into this show as far as I thought I was for you to start doing this kind of shit. But the fight happened. I don't know if Pain comes back or not, but as it stands, this is the fight with Pain. I am watching this shit in 2019. It's a different world probably than when you were watching it, but here are my thoughts watching with a fresh, young Naruto virgin face, I guess. You know, this show that I've been watching since I was like 10 and I've watched hundreds and hundreds of episodes of, but for a lot of people I'm fresh to the scene. I get this fight happened like a decade ago, I think, so I guess they have a point. But first off, right off the bat, I fucking love Pain. This is one of the coolest villains I've seen in any shonen anime. Right away when Jiraiya enters that village, we learn that he can like control the rain and he's like the master of this village, and we don't talk about Pain. And he's just shrouded in mystery. He's obviously like the Akatsuki. I thought he was like the Akatsuki main guy. Apparently he's not. But I thought he was the most important badass motherfucker in the whole group. And they made him out to be the ultimate bad guy, and that's what I thought he was. And then, spoiler, he kills Jiraiya. I knew Jiraiya was gonna die. It's kind of one of the bad parts of watching this so long after the fact, is that you get spoiled on the internet just casually. But that did not lessen the impact because it was an emotional ass scene. And right away, we are introduced to this idea that he has like these 7 bodies, or I think it's like 6 or 7, and each of them has like wildly different powers. We don't understand them, and we don't understand like his motive or anything. And then we get this super cool backstory that he was Jiraiya's pupil, and he's like this counterpart to Naruto. And there's a fucking prophecy, because of course there's a fucking prophecy. And now there's a fucking plane. Why is there always stupid ass shit happening while I'm filming? And each of the bodies of Pain have super cool designs. I love the way each of them looks. Just like the slightest facial expressions that you get on each of them. Like the one that smiles a little bit, and that's creepy as shit. And then there's the one that's tied to his best friend's body. That is crazy. That is some deep, deep, deep ass emotional shit. And then you have like these weird piercing, they're like rods, I guess, that Pain uses to control them. That is a super unique, interesting way of making this character work. I think, again, if you're trying to make a super ultimate cool bad guy, this is not a bad way to go about it. I know a lot of the Akatsuki members that I've met just have these stupid fuck all powers that seem like impossible to beat, but this one seems beatable enough that it's not stupid, but still menacing enough that it's like, oh my god, how are we gonna beat him, you guys? And it turns out it's not that hard. During all this time, Naruto is going through his like ultimate training montage trying to learn Sage Mode. And at this point in time, we got this whole Sharingan thing, we got the Byakugan, we got this new thing that Pain has called the Rinnegan that I still kind of don't fully understand. I think it's pronounced Rinnegan, that's how they say it in the dub. I'm watching this dub, by the way. I'm a fucking loser. I'm a fucking Western weeaboo trash, whatever the fuck you want to call me. That's me, just for the record. You're watching a video by one of those assholes, just for the record. But Naruto is getting his own cool eye transformation in the form of Sage Mode, which I love the relationship between Naruto and Jiraiya. They have basically any like bond between like student and master, and they have banter and all these cool things. That's like one of my favorite things, like Yoda and Luke Skywalker, Master Roshi and Goku, all these relationships. I adore anything like that, and the same goes for Jiraiya and Naruto, especially when Naruto's in this Toad world fucking learning all this crazy shit about how to keep his body still, and that somehow manages to make him take in nature energy. We have nature energy. It's like a fucking spirit bomb inside of you all of a sudden. And Naruto, this is basically like his Super Saiyan. He finally gets his fucking Super Saiyan transformation, because when he shows up, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before Naruto shows up, Pain is in the village, and he basically is taking on the entire village by himself. Sure, he's got 6 bodies, but it's by himself. And we start losing people. We lose Papa Frog Guy. We lose Choji's dad. We lose Kakashi for a little bit, and he's talking to his dad in the fucking afterlife, Suzune. People are just dying, man, and none of these characters were like main character enough to the point I thought that they were going to come back. I thought Kakashi, I thought that was just like a red herring and he's gonna get up and he's gonna get revived somehow. It turns out, obviously this is a spoiler, you've seen it, turns out everyone just gets revived. But I did not know that was gonna happen. That never happened in Naruto. We had Gaara, but I thought that was like a one-time bullshit thing or something. But apparently the entire village gets brought back. But before that, I was like, none of these characters are gonna come back. Suzune, yeah, she's expendable. Choji's dad, expendable. I'm sorry for any Suzune fans out there, but I thought that girl was gone. And then Pain, out of nowhere, destroys the entire village. Again, I've been spoiled about some shit with Naruto, but never did I know that out of nowhere, this man's just gonna be like, entire village, boom, fuck it. Again, I'm used to the shonen shows like Dragon Ball, where we just blow up everything and then it just comes back. But like Naruto doesn't have Dragon Balls, you know, so when the entire village gets wiped out, you feel the weight of that. Like, you're like, okay, the ramen shop of our dreams, gone. His school, all of that fucking swing that has seen like 100 hours of airtime, gone. Carrying on though, Naruto comes back right as Sakura is like, Naruto, where are you? I am in full I hate Sakura mode right now, by the way. Like, where I'm at in the series, she is fucking useless. But yeah, Naruto shows up. He's like the White Knight. He's fucking Goku fresh out of some kind of training montage. He shows up with this army of frogs, and he's got this badass new attire. He looks like a bunch of golden action figures, and he's ready to duke it out with Pain. And I've heard this fight like proclaimed as like one of the best anime fights of all time and all this shit. And I don't know if I want to call it that, but this fight was badass. Maybe it's going to grow on me more. Maybe they're talking, like, I still feel like Pain's going to come back, so maybe they're talking about a rematch. I don't know. But this fight was awesome. And this fight does have a lot of philosophy. It does have a lot of, like, Naruto and Pain talking and, you know, story and plot. And we'll get to that, but, like, the actual animation and fighting in this fight is off the walls crazy. We saw, like, I don't know if because Naruto is being animated by a bunch of different people or studios or something, but there are parts of Naruto that don't make sense together. Like, this fight with Pain remind me a little bit of the fight with Naruto in terms of, like, the very, like I don't know, like, Fooly Coolies type of drawing. Like, there was, like, some frames where Pain's face was, like, stretching, like, it was some weird ass shit. I love inventive animation like that. I know parts of it is so that they can actually, like, when you're fucking editing and animating a fight like this and you're trying to take shortcuts, you do. But if you can make it into a cool style, you do. But there are, like, other parts of Naruto that I'm watching, like, right after this where they're, like, in the snow and it's, like, this super surreal. They look like fucking paintings and shit. And then we have this fight, which is, and it's moving so fast, and yet you feel every punch of this fight, man. And Nagato, like, people can shit on the dub all they want, but I fucking love his voice. It is so, like, intimidating, but at the same time so, like, dense, and it just feels like whenever I get to the gates of heaven and or whatever it is, and someone has to bestow judgment on me, this is gonna be the voice. He's gonna decide my entire existence. But as for the story of this fight, I like that it actually ties into this actual philosophy where Pain feels like he's going to, via, I guess, Madara, turn the entire world into, like, this weird, that one girl from Rick and Morty where they're just kind of like this utopia happy. Basically make a utopia where there is no pain, there is no suffering, which I think ties into a bigger philosophy, which is like, is suffering and pain part of the human existence? Should we just be these matrix plugged in beings where we're just happy all the time and nothing goes wrong? Or should we have struggles? Should we put ourselves through suffering by handicapping ourselves? Or should we just, like, plug up our brains and just receive dopamine effects and stimulus all day long? I think that's an actually big philosophy that I think we as humans are just not ready to handle. And here fucking Naruto, the fucking kid who turns into a harem jutsu, he's gonna fucking solve all our problems and become the village hero. And throughout this battle we do have a lot of that kind of Naruto strategy shit that I really like. Basically during this entire fight, Naruto still has shadow clones in the Toad world. They're building nature chakra as he's in this fight, and he can basically go on a war of nutrition, throwing Rasen shurikens at these guys, hoping that they land and take them out. He takes out a couple of them really early. It does kind of make Jiraiya look like a bitch when he's in Sage mode and he can kill like one or two of these guys, and fucking Naruto is just cleaning house on them. But we learn all of their abilities. There's like one who has like summoning jutsu. There's another one that can absorb chakra. They have all of these really crazy abilities, and Naruto taking them out psychologically and physically one by one, and eventually it leads up to this part where Hinata comes in. And Hinata, like, at this point in the story where I'm at, Hinata is not, like, a key figure. Again, I've been spoiled. I know what happens at the end of Naruto in terms of Hinata. But she jumps in here out of nowhere, and the second Pain, Naruto flips. There's this one frame. He looks like fucking Aang from Avatar The Last Airbender, and then he snaps. And then we get the big ending of the fight, and it feels like the dust has settled. I kind of wish we kind of lingered on this moment a little more before Naruto kind of just fucks off and talks to Pain for a while. I do like that. I love the way it ended where Naruto talks to Pain and they kind of come to this resolution, and then Nagato is like, let me revive everyone as my dying moment. And he realized he was already dying. But I feel like we didn't really get to invest a whole lot in his Akatsuki friend, whatever her name was. I act like she was like this side character that didn't matter. The third member of the trio that started this whole thing. Yeah, I wanted more with her. I wanted a little bit more kinda with just Nagato, like how he came to be this. Obviously he put these rods in him to like control these guys from afar, and he's like Mr. House, just barely surviving. It's an illusion of pain. Like this whole idea of him as this strong master who can sense this entire village via the rain, that's all part of it, but it's still him. He's still at the helm, but he's not necessarily a show-off. He's just this kind of ultimate ninja who also happens to be like a dying, but he dies with a smile on his face, believing that Naruto is taking the helm and going to potentially end all suffering. And a part of you believes it. I kind of think it's stupid that Naruto has this weird ability where he's able to like befriend anyone and make them see the error of their ways, and it's like what he does. And his ultimate challenge seems to be able to do that with Sasuke, because Sasuke will always foresee him as the dumb idiot that he actually is. I just think it was kind of like, oh, here's this random fucking kid who's 16 and for some reason stronger than me, and he's going to make me rethink my entire life just like that. We just need to stretch certain parts and maybe cut some other parts. Again, I only saw this once. I don't know this arc nearly as well as a bunch of Narutards out there do, but from what I saw, this was a very, very cool ending. I do like the way it ended. Like, seeing Kakashi and all of them rise again definitely made my heart kind of swell, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet, especially after Kakashi had that talk with his dad. That was really interesting. But Naruto comes home, and he is the village hero, and basically all those times he was on a swing by himself, it all led up to this, where he's the conquering young hero, and it's just a moment of pure bliss, where they're all throwing him up in the air, and he saved the day, and I don't know how the fuck he got this strong so quickly, but he did. And I still have no idea how they're gonna stretch out this show for 250 plus more episodes, but they are, goddammit. But maybe that'll be some future videos for another day. Until then, this was my reaction to the fight with Pain. I didn't know what to expect, really. I thought this was gonna be like 100 more episodes down the line at least, but I got it now. It was pretty dope. I hope they at least use Pain more throughout the series, because he's actually a very interesting character. But some people have told me that this is like the highest point in Naruto, and if that's the case, that's a little bit sad, because like I feel like the show can do even better than this. As great as this was, and as cool as this is probably the most glued into Naruto I've ever been. Like, it's never been the type of show, at least in recent years, where I had to keep watching and all this shit. But now it kind of finally felt like that to me. So, yeah, that's basically what I thought of Naruto versus Pain. Tell me in the comments below, how did this compare to your first time? When you experienced this arc, were you like fresh off the manga, like you were getting these chapters week in and week out and just getting that little bit of information? Did you watch it sub? Did you have like a group of friends who were all into it? Were you in high school, middle school? Tell me in the comments down below. Let me know your guys' experience with Naruto versus Pain. And until next time, my friends, you can click around this video. There's probably another video I've made, hopefully. You can check out my social media and other channels as well. And I think that's all the plugs I have up my sleeve. So until next time, with that, I leave you.